Hello, everyone. I am Brian Smalling. I'm the mayor of the city of Westmoreland, and I am a candidate for reelection for the office of mayor of the city of Westmoreland. This is a second in a series of videos that I wanted to do uh, to talk about some things that were important to me about the future of our community, and hopefully they're important to you as well. And this will provide you some insight that if I am reelected as mayor of the city of Westmoreland, we will continue along this path. Today's video is about infrastructure. As mayor of Westmoreland, I have had the opportunity to work on some things that were very unique to Westmoreland. We have written a grant collaboratively with Sumner County and the city of Portland that would provide water in the near future to the community for the next 50 years. One of our problems with our high water rates is we only have one available source, and that source is many miles away and requires lots of maintenance. And as we grow and develop, that maintenance will only get larger. So, working with collaboratively with these other communities, we wrote a grant that would allow us to currently connect some water lines out in the community that are not connected. There's low water pressure in those areas, and to maintain the water quality, we have to flush those lines periodically and test them to make sure they meet the standard that they're supposed to. That is very expensive. This first leg of the grant will provide the funding available to tie those together, and it was an opportunity we had not had in the past. But the greater scope of that same grant will allow us to connect our existing water line to the city of Portland, and through the city of Portland to the White House Water Utility District, which will provide us a second source of water. The city of Westmoreland has been working on a second source of water for quite some time. That has proved to be very, very costly because it didn't utilize the current assets that we had, or current utility districts that were in place. We were trying to start all over, fresh and brand new, with a water source and a part of the system that would treat the water and maintain the water, and that got to be very, very expensive. So this grant, shoring up the water supply, will allow not only Portland some opportunities, but it will allow the White House Utility District to make improvements and increase their capacity without us just pouring it out on the ground, in effect. So I was very fortunate that that opportunity came very early on as I was mayor. And I feel like that issue it's a big issue that's currently resolved. The second thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to infrastructure is our sewer. When I first became mayor, there had been a plan previously to renovate our sewer collection system. I sat down with the Westmoreland Public Works and our city engineer, and we reviewed that plan and brought it up to date. That plan provided a infrastructure upgrade in a way that made us become more compliant with the state of Tennessee, and it relied heavily on grant funds to be successful. And in previous years, that parts of that plan had been put in place and funded as funds became available through the grant system, but it hadn't been looked at previously to bring it up to date and do the recommendations that we know that would currently help us along Highway 31E and along Highway 52. That infrastructure for the sewer collection system is there, but it's not as robust and large enough to help us grow. So in that phase of the project, we were looking at what we need to do to make that area have the infrastructure successful. And the second thing when it comes to the sewer plant that I've had the opportunity to work on is when I first became mayor, we were at the phase where we were starting the construction of the brand new sewer plant. Now, it became almost immediately apparent that the new construction of the sewer plant would not meet a demand for a higher level of growth in our community. And I had the opportunity to work on what the expansion of that plant is going to look like. And I'm excited to say that, you know, it's my attitude about that has evolved in a great way. That, you know, previously one of our problems was, you know, 40 years ago we built a facility to treat wastewater, but you know, we weren't able to keep up with the demands of the maintenance of the facility, and over time it become an outdated facility that no longer met modern needs. And knowing that that currently is a problem, as mayor, I want to make sure that that doesn't happen with our current system. We have done a few things, or started the steps to study our system and know the true cost. And that's what I hear most from the citizens, is about the high cost of the water and sewer bill. Knowing the true cost is just the first step. We've done some smaller scale utility rate studies in the past, but they were just snapshots. The city has partnered with the Industrial Development Board, who is providing a great deal of the funding for this utility study, to be a 3-phase study that, once it's over the initial recommendations that they made for us to correct, that could potentially help identify the problems where it's costing us the most amount of money, and where we can adjust the rates to better suit our community. This 3rd phase of this study will evaluate those things to see if we met the mark that is correct, and offer recommendations to even further service. These 2 issues that I've talked to you about are just a small portion of our current infrastructure problems and discussion that we're currently undergoing. And I wanted you to know that these issues are ongoing, they're developing, and they're very much alive, and something that it takes a lot of time to understand. And hopefully, if I'm allowed to be reelected and continue to be your mayor, we can further this conversation and dive into many more issues that have been problems in our community for a long time. Look forward to talking to everyone in the 3rd video.